Right now, in this exact moment, you are making a choice. You are choosing to invest time in yourself. You are choosing growth over stagnation. You are choosing to believe that there's more to life than what you are currently experiencing. And that choice? It's more powerful than you realize. Look around you. The world is full of people with untapped potential, unrealized dreams, and unfulfilled promises to themselves. They are not bad people. They are not lazy or incompetent. They simply never learned how to harness the incredible power residing between their ears, the human mind. Here's what science tells us. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, each capable of making thousands of connections. The computational power in your skull exceeds the most advanced supercomputers. Yet most people use a fraction of this capability, not because they can't, but because they don't know how. This audiobook is different. We are not going to give you shallow platitudes or temporary motivation. We are going to rebuild your mental operating system from the ground up. Over the next 15 chapters, you'll discover how to think differently, act decisively, and live intentionally. But I need something from you: total commitment. Don't listen passively. Engage actively. Question everything I say. Test these principles in your life. Because knowledge without application is just entertainment, and you didn't come here to be entertained, you came here to be transformed. Let's begin your transformation. Chapter 1. Breaking Free from Mental Prison. Most people are prisoners of their own minds, and they don't even know it. They've constructed invisible bars made of limiting beliefs, self-doubt, and inherited thought patterns. These mental prisons are more confining than any physical cell because the prisoner holds the key but doesn't realize it. Think about an elephant in a circus. As a baby, it's chained to a stake it cannot pull out. It tries repeatedly and fails. Eventually, it stops trying. Years later, as a 5-ton adult capable of uprooting trees, it remains bound by a stake it could easily remove, because it learned long ago that escape was impossible. The physical chain is gone, but the mental chain remains. You are that elephant. Somewhere in your past, you tried something and failed. Maybe multiple times. So you created a belief: I can't do this. That belief became your stake. And now, even though you are fully capable, you don't even try because you've internalized that limitation. The first step to building an unstoppable mind is recognizing these mental prisons. What beliefs are holding you back? I'm not smart enough. People like me don't succeed. I'm too old young. I don't have the right connections. Write them down. Look at them. Then ask yourself, is this objectively true, or is this just a story I've been telling myself? Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself, proves that you're not stuck with the brain you have. You can rewire it. Every time you challenge a limiting belief and take action anyway, you're creating new neural pathways. You are literally rebuilding your brain. Your assignment: identify one limiting belief that's held you back. This week, do something that directly contradicts it. Afraid of rejection? Ask for something knowing you might hear no. Believe you can't learn new skills? Spend 30 minutes learning something new. The goal isn't perfection. It's proof that your limiting belief is false. Break one bar of your mental prison, and you'll realize you can break them all. Chapter 2. The Attention Revolution. We are living through an attention crisis. Companies worth billions are waging war for your focus. Every app, every notification, every autoplaying video is engineered by teams of psychologists to capture and keep your attention. And they are winning. Studies show the average person's attention span has dropped to 8 seconds, less than a goldfish. We pick up our phones 58 times daily. We consume content but create nothing. We scroll but don't grow. And in this distraction epidemic, the ability to focus deeply has become the ultimate competitive advantage. Cal Newport calls it deep work, the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding tasks. Bill Gates takes think weeks where he disconnects completely to focus on big ideas. Warren Buffett attributes his success not to working harder, but to saying no to almost everything so he can focus on the vital few. Here's the truth. Your attention is your most valuable resource. More valuable than your time, your money, or your education. Because wherever your attention goes, your life follows. Spend your attention on Instagram. Your life looks like everyone else's highlight reel. Spend your attention on learning. Your knowledge compounds. Spend your attention on building. Your empire grows. The attention revolution starts with audit and elimination. Track where your attention goes for 1 week. You'll be horrified. Then ruthlessly eliminate attention vampires. Delete social media apps. Turn off all notifications except from real people. Create physical barriers between you and distraction. Then build attention muscles. Start with just 25 minutes of focused work, the Pomodoro technique. No phone, no email, no interruptions. Just you and one task. It'll feel uncomfortable at first, like exercise for an atrophied muscle. But that discomfort means you are growing. Gradually increase duration. Soon, you'll enter flow states that produce more value in 2 hours than most people create in 2 weeks. Master your attention. Master your life. Chapter 3. Embracing productive discomfort. Your comfort zone is killing your potential. It's warm, familiar, predictable, and completely devoid of growth. Every meaningful achievement in human history happened because someone stepped into discomfort. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every transformation required someone to do what felt unnatural. Evolutionary biology explains why. Your brain's primary job isn't to make you happy, it's to keep you alive. Anything new triggers the amygdala, your brain's alarm system. New job? Threat. New relationship? Threat. New challenge? Threat. Your primitive brain interprets uncertainty as danger, so it generates fear to keep you safely in the cave. But here's the paradox. The cave is the most dangerous place to be. Comfort leads to complacency. Complacency leads to stagnation. Stagnation leads to irrelevance. The world rewards those who venture out, not those who hide. As Jeff Bezos says, I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that, but I knew the one thing I might regret is not trying. Productive discomfort is different from reckless risk. It's calculated exposure to challenges slightly beyond your current capabilities. A weightlifter doesn't start with 500 pounds, they progressively overload. The same principle applies to your mind. Want to become a better speaker? Start with small groups. Want to build a business? Start with a side project. Want to get fit? Start with 10 minutes daily. The discomfort sweet spot is where anxiety and boredom meet. Too easy, you are bored and don't grow. Too hard, you are anxious and give up. Just right, you are challenged but capable. That's where transformation happens. This is called the zone of proximal development, and it's where all learning occurs. Make discomfort a daily practice. Do one thing every day that scares you slightly. Cold showers train your mind to override the avoid discomfort reflex. Public speaking builds confidence through repeated exposure. Difficult conversations strengthen your communication. Each act of voluntary discomfort expands your comfort zone until what once terrified you becomes routine. Remember, comfort is the enemy of greatness. Choose growth over comfort every single time. Chapter 4. The Antifragile Mindset. Nassim Taleb introduced a revolutionary concept, antifragility. Most things are fragile. They break under stress. Some things are resilient. They withstand stress. But rare things are antifragile. They grow stronger from stress. Your mind can become antifragile. Consider bones. Apply zero stress. They atrophy. Apply moderate stress through exercise. They strengthen. Applying excessive stress. They break. Optimal stress creates adaptation. The same applies to your mental fortitude. No challenges make you weak. Manageable challenges make you strong. Overwhelming challenges break you. The antifragile mindset doesn't just survive adversity, it leverages it. When you lose a job, you don't just find another job, you start the business you always wanted. When a relationship ends, you don't just move on, you become the person you need to be. When you fail, you don't just try again, you extract the lesson and evolve. Building antifragility requires reframing. Most people see obstacles as roadblocks. The antifragile sees them as training equipment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your biggest setback contains your biggest opportunity, if you look for it. Practical antifragility means building redundancies. Don't rely on one income stream. Don't depend on one skill. Don't invest all your identity in one role. Diversification isn't just financial wisdom, it's existential security. When one area takes a hit, you have others to sustain you. Here's your antifragile protocol. When adversity strikes, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, how can this make me stronger? Not, why is this happening to me? But, what is this teaching me? Document your lessons. Review them regularly. Over time, you'll see a pattern. Your greatest growth always follows your greatest challenges. Eventually, you'll welcome difficulty because you know it's upgrading your operating system. That's antifragility. Chapter 5. Decision Architecture. Your life is the sum of your decisions. Not your circumstances, not your luck, not your genetics, your decisions. Where you are right now is the cumulative result of thousands of choices. Where you'll be in 5 years depends on the decisions you make starting today. Yet most people make decisions reactively, emotionally, and inconsistently. They choose based on how they feel in the moment. Tired? Skip the workout. Stressed? Binge on junk food. Anxious? Avoid the difficult conversation. These micro-decisions compound into macro consequences. Decision architecture means designing systems that make good decisions automatic and bad decisions difficult. Barack Obama wore only gray or blue suits to eliminate decision fatigue. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same outfit daily. Steve Jobs had a uniform. They weren't being eccentric. They were conserving mental energy for decisions that actually matter. Research shows you have finite willpower. Each decision depletes it slightly. By the end of the day, you are running on fumes, which is why you make poor evening choices. The solution? Automate low-stakes decisions. Meal prep eliminates food decisions. Morning routines eliminate planning decisions. Pre-commitment eliminates temptation decisions. For important decisions, use the 10th October 2010 rule from Susie Welch. How will you feel about this decision in 10 minutes? 10 months? 10 years? This temporal perspective prevents emotional hijacking. The pizza looks good now, but will you regret it in 10 months when you haven't reached your fitness goal? Probably. Build decision filters. Before any significant choice, ask, does this align with my values? Does this move me toward my goals? Will my future self thank me? If it's a no to any of these, it's a no overall. Create pre-made decisions for common scenarios. I don't eat dessert on weekdays. I don't check email before 10 a.m. I don't make major decisions when tired. These rules eliminate negotiation with yourself. Your decisions shape your destiny. Design them intentionally. Chapter 6. Energy Economics. You are not managing time. You are managing energy. Think about it. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. Bezos has 24 hours. Oprah has 24 hours. That struggling entrepreneur has 24 hours. The difference isn't time. It's energy and how it's invested. Corporate performance consultants Tony Schwartz and Jim Loehr discovered that elite performers don't work longer hours. They manage energy better. They identified 4 energy dimensions: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Optimize all 4, and you operate at peak capacity. Neglect even one, and everything suffers. Physical energy is foundational. You can't think clearly when you are exhausted. You can't be creative when you are malnourished. You can't perform when you are sedentary. Sleep isn't negotiable. It's when your brain consolidates memories and repairs itself. Nutrition isn't just calories. It's fuel for cognitive function. Movement isn't optional. It increases BDNF, the brain's growth hormone. Emotional energy comes from managing your internal state. Chronic stress drains you. Toxic relationships deplete you. Lack of purpose exhausts you. Meanwhile, gratitude energizes. Meaningful connections recharge. Purpose sustains. Protect your emotional energy by setting boundaries, practicing gratitude, and aligning your life with your values. Mental energy requires strategic renewal. Your brain operates in 90-minute ultradian cycles. Work with this rhythm, not against it. Sprint for 90 minutes, then break completely. Walk. Meditate. Disconnect. These aren't indulgences, they are investments in sustained performance. Spiritual energy transcends daily tasks. It's your why. Viktor Frankl survived Nazi concentration camps by maintaining purpose. He who has a why can bear almost anyhow, Nietzsche wrote. Connect daily to your deeper purpose. Journal. Reflect. Contribute to something beyond yourself. This spiritual energy sustains you when everything else fails. Track your energy like you track your finances. Note what drains you and what charges you. Then ruthlessly eliminate energy vampires and double down on energy sources. This is energy economics. Invest wisely. Chapter 7. The bias toward action. Analysis paralysis is the silent killer of dreams. People spend years planning, researching, and preparing, and never executing. They are waiting for perfect conditions, complete information, guaranteed outcomes. They'll wait forever because those things don't exist. Amazon's leadership principle says, bias for action. Jeff Bezos requires decisions to be made with 70% of the information you wish you had. Waiting for 90% means you are too slow. The cost of delay exceeds the cost of occasional mistakes. Speed matters more than perfection. Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn founder, says, if you are not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late. This applies to everything. Your first presentation will be rough. Your first business will have flaws. Your first attempt will be imperfect. Do it anyway. Done is better than perfect. The action bias creates a learning loop. You act, you get feedback, you adjust, you improve. People who think endlessly remain stuck at the starting line. People who act imperfectly learn, adapt, and eventually excel. You can't steer a parked car. You must be moving to make corrections. Overcome action paralysis with the 2-minute rule from David Allen. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. No planning, no scheduling, no overthinking. This builds momentum. Momentum creates motivation. Motivation drives more action. It's a virtuous cycle. For larger projects, use the minimum viable action. What's the smallest step you can take right now? Want to write a book? Write 1 paragraph. Want to start exercising? Do 1 push-up. Want to build a business? Make 1 phone call. That tiny action breaks inertia. Once moving, staying in motion becomes easier than staying still. Remember, imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Always. The world rewards those who ship, not those who prepare. Move now, perfect later. Chapter 8. Flow State Mastery. Athletes call it the zone. Musicians call it being in the pocket. Psychologists call it flow. Whatever the name, it's that magical state where time disappears, performance peaks, and everything feels effortless. Researchers at McKinsey found that executives in flow are 500% more productive. 5 times. That's not incremental improvement, that's exponential. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying flow. He discovered it's not random, it's triggerable. Flow occurs when a challenge perfectly matches skill. Too easy, you are bored. Too hard, you are anxious. Just right, you are engaged. This sweet spot is about 4% beyond your current capability. Flow requires clear goals and immediate feedback. Gamers achieve flow easily because games provide both clear objectives and instant feedback on performance. Translate this to your work. Define exactly what success looks like. Create feedback loops so you know instantly if you are progressing. Environmental triggers matter enormously. Flow requires uninterrupted focus, impossible with notifications pinging. Turn off everything. Phone on airplane mode. Email closed. The door shut. Music with lyrics breaks flow. Ambient noise or instrumental music can enhance it. Temperature matters you. Slightly cool rooms boost alertness. Neurochemistry explains flow's addictive quality. Your brain releases norepinephrine, dopamine, endorphins, anandamide, and serotonin, the 5 most powerful neurochemicals for performance and pleasure. This cocktail is why flow feels amazing and why you want to return to it. Design your day around flow. Identify your peak cognitive hours. For most people, it's morning. Protect this time religiously for your most important work. Match high-challenge tasks with high-energy periods. Use rituals to trigger flow. Same coffee, same desk, same music. Your brain will associate these cues with deep focus. Build gradually. Start with 25-minute flow sessions. Extend as capacity increases. Flow is trainable. Practice it daily, and you'll access peak performance on demand. Chapter 9. Defeating the Inner Critic. There's a voice in your head that criticizes everything you do. It tells you you are not good enough. It reminds you of past failures. It predicts future catastrophes. It compares you to others and finds you lacking. Psychologists call it the inner critic. Left unchecked, it will sabotage every dream you have. The inner critic evolved as a protective mechanism. In tribal times, social rejection meant death. Your brain developed harsh self-monitoring to prevent behaviors that might get you ostracized. But in modern society, this mechanism misfires. It sees threat where none exists. It generates shame and anxiety as motivation, which backfires spectacularly. Kristin Neff's research on self-compassion reveals a counterintuitive truth. Being kind to yourself improves performance more than harsh self-criticism. Self-compassion reduces anxiety and fear of failure, which frees you to take risks and learn from mistakes. Self-criticism creates fear, which paralyzes and prevents growth. Defeating the inner critic doesn't mean silencing it. That's impossible. Instead, change your relationship with it. When it speaks, notice it. There's that voice again. Don't argue with it or believe it automatically. Treat it like a worried parent, well-meaning but overly cautious. Thank it for its concern, then proceed with your plan. Practice self-compassion with 3 components. First, mindfulness. Acknowledge your struggle without exaggerating it. Second, common humanity. Remember everyone struggles. You are not uniquely flawed. Third, self-kindness. Talk to yourself like you talk to a good friend. Would you tell a friend they are worthless? Then why tell yourself that? Try this exercise. Write down your harshest self-criticisms. Then rewrite them from a compassionate perspective. I'm terrible at this becomes, I'm learning, and learning takes time. I always fail, becomes, I've had setbacks, like everyone, and I keep trying. Notice how different this feels. That compassionate voice? That's your ally. Strengthen it by using it repeatedly. Eventually, it drowns out the critic. You become your own champion instead of your own worst enemy. Chapter 10. Purpose and Meaning. Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a reason to live can bear almost anyhow." Purpose isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, success feels empty. Achievements bring temporary pleasure but lasting dissatisfaction. You climb the ladder only to realize it's against the wrong wall. Purpose is the intersection of 3 circles: what you are good at, what you love, and what the world needs. Find where all 3 overlap, and you've found your purpose. This is ikigai, the Japanese concept of reason for being. People with strong ikigai live longer, healthier, more satisfying lives. Most people never find their purpose because they never look for it. They drift through life accepting default paths, study what parents suggest, take jobs that pay well, follow conventional scripts. They are living someone else's definition of success, wondering why they feel unfulfilled. Finding purpose requires introspection. What problems anger you? What injustices do you notice? What activities make you lose track of time? What would you do if money weren't a concern? These questions point toward purpose. Your purpose often emerges from your pain. The struggles you've overcome become the foundation for helping others. Purpose also evolves. You don't find it once and finish. It grows and shifts as you do. Someone in their 20s focused on building skills. In their 30s, applying those skills. In their 40s, mentoring others. In their 50s, creating legacy. Each phase has a purpose, just a different purpose. Craft your purpose statement. Not a vague platitude but a specific declaration. I exist to help underserved communities access quality education. I exist to create art that challenges people's perspectives. I exist to build technology that solves climate challenges. Write yours. Refine it. Then let it guide your decisions. When opportunities arise, ask, does this serve my purpose? Yes? Pursue it. No? Decline politely. Purpose provides the compass. All other decisions become simpler. Chapter 11. Strategic Relationships. Jim Rohan's famous quote bears repeating, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. This isn't a metaphor, it's a measurable reality. Harvard's 75-year study found that relationship quality predicts health, happiness, and longevity better than any other factor. Yet most people are passive about relationships. They inherit friends from school or work. They maintain connections out of obligation. They tolerate toxic relationships because ending them feels hard. This passivity is killing their potential. Your network is your net worth, financially, emotionally, and intellectually. Strategic relationships aren't manipulative, they are intentional. You deliberately surround yourself with people who elevate you, people further ahead who inspire you, people at your level who challenge you, people behind you whom you mentor. This creates a virtuous ecosystem of growth. Naval Ravikant distinguishes between time and calendar friends. Calendar friends you see regularly out of habit. Time friends you see rarely but deeply value. Quality trumps quantity. 3 profound friendships provide more value than 30 superficial ones. Build depth, not breadth. Toxic relationships are termites. They destroy slowly and invisibly. Energy vampires who drain you. Negative people who criticize your dreams. Complacent friends who pull you back to mediocrity. You must protect your environment like you protect your health. Distance yourself from toxic influences, even if it feels uncomfortable. Build relationships proactively. Seek mentors, people 10 years ahead who have achieved what you want. Offer value first. Help solve their problems before asking for help. Build peer relationships with ambitious people pursuing challenging goals. Mentor generously. Teaching others solidifies your own knowledge. Audit your relationships quarterly. Who energizes you? Invest more. Who drains you? Create boundaries. Relationships compound like investments. Choose wisely and nurture intentionally. Chapter 12. Financial Freedom Blueprint. Financial stress is cognitive quicksand. Worrying about bills consumes mental bandwidth you need for creativity and problem solving. Princeton researchers found that financial scarcity reduces IQ by 13 points, equivalent to losing a night's sleep or being a chronic alcoholic. You can't build an unstoppable mind while drowning in financial anxiety. Financial freedom isn't about being rich, it's about having options. It's waking up and choosing how to spend your day, not being forced into activities you hate to pay bills. Morgan Housel, author of The Psychology of Money, says wealth is what you don't see, the financial freedom to say no. The formula is simple but not easy. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference consistently. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Most people fail not because they don't know this, but because they lack discipline. They upgrade their lifestyle whenever income increases, staying perpetually broke at higher income levels. Build financial freedom in layers. First, Create an emergency fund, 6 months of expenses in accessible cash. This eliminates the crisis mentality. Second, eliminate high-interest debt aggressively. Third, invest consistently in diversified assets. Fourth, build income streams beyond your primary job. Fifth, reduce fixed expenses to increase flexibility. Increase income by increasing value provided. Develop rare, valuable skills. Solve expensive problems. Communicate your value effectively. Don't just work harder, work on high-leverage activities. And are building systems that generate passive income beats and are trading time for money. Automate good decisions. Set up automatic transfers to savings and investments the day you get paid. You can't spend what you don't see. Pay yourself first. Most people pay everyone else and save what's left, which is nothing. Reverse this. Invest in financial education. Read books. Listen to podcasts. Learn from successful investors. Financial literacy is the skill that pays dividends forever. Remember, money buys time. Time buys freedom. Freedom lets you build an unstoppable mind. Chapter 13. Communication Leverage. Warren Buffett tells students, improve your communication skills and you'll increase your value by 50% immediately. Not 5%. Not 10%. 50%. Your ideas are worthless if you can't articulate them. Your products don't sell if you can't explain their value. Your career stalls if you can't negotiate or present. Most people communicate reactively. They respond to questions. They participate in discussions. Elite communicators are proactive. They frame conversations. They shape narratives. They influence without forcing. They understand that communication isn't about broadcasting, it's about connecting. Effective communication starts with listening. Stephen Covey, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most people listen to respond, not understand. They are formulating their reply while the other person speaks. This breaks the connection. Instead, listen actively. Ask clarifying questions. Reflect back what you heard. People don't care what you know until they know you care. Storytelling is communication on steroids. Data informs, but stories transform. When you share statistics, people forget them immediately. When you tell stories, they remember and share them. Master the structure. Hero faces challenge, encounters obstacles, discovers solution, transforms through journey. That structure is hardwired into human psychology. Written communication matters more than ever. Emails, proposals, social media. Your writing reveals your thinking. Clear writing requires clear thinking. Unclear writing betrays unclear thought. Practice daily. Write to clarify your own ideas. Edit ruthlessly. Remove every unnecessary word. Read your writing aloud. If it sounds awkward, it is awkward. Public speaking is the highest leverage communication skill. Join Toastmasters. Record yourself. Seek feedback. Practice deliberately. Great speakers aren't born, they are built through repetition. Start small. Team meetings. Gradually increase. Conferences, podcasts, videos. Each repetition reduces anxiety and increases capability. Remember, communication is a multiplier. Brilliant ideas poorly communicated achieve nothing. Average ideas compellingly communicated change the world. Invest in this force multiplier relentlessly. Chapter 14. Systems over Goals. Scott Adams, creator of Dilbert, wrote, "Goals are for losers. Systems are for winners." This sounds provocative, but he's right. Goals focus on outcomes you can't fully control. Systems focus on processes you can control. You can't control whether you lose 20 pounds, but you can control eating nutritious food and exercising daily. Goals create problems. First, they are binary. You succeed or fail, creating unnecessary pressure. Second, they are endpoint focused. Motivation collapses after achievement. Third, they are often arbitrary. Why 20 pounds, not 15 or 25? Systems eliminate these issues by focusing on continuous improvement rather than specific outcomes. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, explains that you rise to the level of your systems, not your goals. If your goal is to become a best-selling author but your system is to write when you feel inspired, you'll fail. If your system is to write 500 words daily regardless of mood, success becomes inevitable. Build systems through environment design. Want to read more? Put books everywhere: nightstand, desk, bathroom, car. Want to eat healthier? Stock your kitchen with nutritious food. Don't buy junk in the first place. Want to exercise consistently? Lay out workout clothes the night before. Make good behaviors easy and bad behaviors difficult. Track systems, not just outcomes. Don't track pounds lost. Track days I followed my eating system. This shifts focus to what you control. Celebrate system adherence. After 100 consecutive days following a system, the behavior becomes automatic. You don't need motivation anymore. You have identity. I'm a runner. Beats, I'm trying to run more. Design your perfect day system. What does your ideal average day look like? Not vacation. Average. What time do you wake? What's your morning routine? When do you work? When do you rest? Map it out. Then engineer your environment to make that day automatic. Systems compound. Small daily actions accumulate into extraordinary results. Focus on the process, trust the system, and outcomes take care of themselves. Chapter 15. Legacy Consciousness. Steve Jobs said, "We are here to put a dent in the universe. Not to consume more, accumulate more, or entertain ourselves into oblivion, to create impact." This is legacy consciousness, living with awareness that your choices ripple beyond your lifetime. Most people never think about legacy. They are trapped in day-to-day urges, never zooming out to consider, what will remain when I'm gone? The harsh truth: you'll be forgotten quickly unless you create something that outlasts you. Within 3 generations, even your family won't remember your name, unless you build a legacy. Legacy isn't reserved for the famous. Teachers create legacy through students they inspire. Parents create legacy through values they instill. Entrepreneurs create legacy through businesses that employ people. Artists create legacy through work that moves hearts. You don't need fame, you need impact. Legacy consciousness changes decision-making. Short-term pleasures lose appeal when measured against long-term impact. Would you rather spend money on luxury cars or fund scholarships that educate hundreds? Would you rather binge Netflix or create content that helps thousands? Legacy thinking makes these choices obvious. Start with your values. What principles matter most? Integrity? Courage? Generosity? Creativity? Define them explicitly. Then audit your life. Are your actions aligned with your values? If you value family but work 80 hours weekly, there's misalignment. Legacy is living your values consistently until they become what you are known for. Document your journey. Write. Record. Create. Future generations will inherit your wisdom only if you preserve it. Your struggles can guide others. Your solutions can help thousands. Your story can inspire millions. But only if you share it. Legacy requires contribution beyond consumption. Write your legacy statement now. Not what you hope to achieve, what you are building today. I'm building a legacy of creative courage by sharing my art despite fear of judgment. I'm building a legacy of generosity by mentoring younger entrepreneurs. Make it specific and actionable. Then let it guide daily decisions. When confused about priorities, return to your legacy. Your unstoppable mind isn't just for personal success, it's for creating impact that echoes through time. Congratulations! You've completed a journey through 15 fundamental principles of mental mastery. You've learned to break mental prisons, command attention, embrace discomfort, build antifragility, architect decisions, manage energy, bias toward action, achieve flow, defeat self-criticism, find purpose, build strategic relationships, create financial freedom, leverage communication, prioritize systems, and develop legacy consciousness. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Knowledge changes nothing. Application changes everything. You now possess a blueprint for an unstoppable mind. Whether you build with it or file it away as interesting information, that determines your future. The gap between who you are and who you could be is built from daily choices. Small decisions compound exponentially. The difference between good and extraordinary isn't talent or luck, it's consistency. Show up daily, even when motivation fades. Especially when motivation fades. That's when character builds. I challenge you, choose one principle from these 15 chapters. Not all 15. 1. Master it over the next 30 days. Maybe it's building an attention practice. Maybe it's establishing a daily action system. Maybe it's rebuilding a toxic relationship. One principle, fully integrated, creates more transformation than 15 principles superficially understood. Remember why you started this audiobook. Something inside you knew you were capable of more. That voice was right. You are capable of extraordinary things. Not because you're special or lucky, but because you're human. And humans possess the most sophisticated problem-solving machine in the known universe between their ears. The world needs your unstoppable mind. Problems need solving. People need leadership. Ideas need implementing. You can wait until you feel ready, but you'll wait forever. Or you can start now, imperfectly, courageously. The latter builds unstoppable minds. 5 years from now, you'll arrive. The question is, where? That depends on the decisions you make starting today. Not tomorrow. Not Monday. Today. This moment.